Welcome to my channel, detailing events throughout the decades. 1989. Exxon Valdez Oil Spill. The Exxon Valdez oil spill occurred in Prince William Sound, Alaska on March 24, 1989. Exxon Valdez was owned by Exxon Shipping Company and was bound for Long Beach, California. The Exxon Valdez struck Bligh Reef, a well-known navigation hazard in Alaska's Prince William Sound at 4 minutes past midnight. The impact of the collision tore open the ship's hull, causing gallons of crude oil to spill into the water. It spilled 10.8 million U.S. gallons of crude oil over the days that followed the incident. The region is a habitat for salmon, sea otters, seal, and seabirds. The oil eventually covered 1,300 miles of coastline and 11,000 square miles of ocean. Exxon Shipping Company failed to supervise the master, and provided a rested and sufficient crew for the Exxon Valdez. The third mate failed to properly maneuver the vessel due to fatigue and excessive workloads. The Exxon Shipping Company also failed to maintain the Raytheon Collision Avoidance System radar, which if functional would have indicated to the third mate of an impending collision with the Bligh Reef, by detecting the radar reflector placed on the next rock inland from Bligh Reef, for the purpose of keeping ships on course. Captain Joseph Hazelwood was widely reported to have been drinking heavily that night, and was not at the controls when the ship struck the reef. Exxon blamed Captain Hazelwood for the grounding, but Hazelwood accused the company of making him the scapegoat. At his 1990 trial, witnesses testified that he was sober around the time of the accident. It was found that the radar was left broken and disabled for more than a year before the disaster. Exxon management knew about it, but it was just too expensive to fix and operate. Chemical dispersant was applied to the slick after the disaster, by a private company using a helicopter. However, the helicopter missed the target area. Mechanical cleanup was started shortly after, using booms and skimmers, but as the skimmers were not available during the first 24 hours following the spill, thick oil and kelp tended to clog the equipment. Only 10% of the total oil was completely cleaned. Exxon was criticized for its slow response to cleaning up the spill. More than 11,000 Alaskan residents, along with some Exxon employees, worked throughout the area to try and restore the environment. Prince William Sound contained many rocky coves, where the oil collected. The decision was made to displace it with high-pressure hot water, but this also displaced and destroyed the microbial populations on the shoreline. Many of these were part of the coastal marine food chain. The immediate effect of the oil spill included deaths of thousands of species living in Prince of William Sound. In 2003, a team from the University of North Carolina found that the remaining oil was lasting longer than anticipated, which resulted in the long-term loss of many species. In 2006, it was found that about 6 miles of shoreline around Prince William Sound was still affected by the spill, with around 101.6 tons of oil remaining. Exxon denied any concerns over the remaining oil. In 2009, Captain Joseph Hazelwood offered a heartfelt apology to the people of Alaska. As of 2010, it was estimated that around 23,000 U.S. gallons of crude oil was still in Alaska's sand and soil. In 2014, it was found that some of the oil appeared not to have biodegraded at all. Scientists state that oil mixes with seawater and forms an emulsion. Left out, the surface crusts over, but the inside still has the consistency of mousse. After a very lengthy court appeal and rulings, Exxon had paid $507.5 million in punitive damages, including lawsuit costs and interest. In response to the spill, the United States Congress passed the Oil Pollution Act of 1990. The legislation included a clause that prohibits any vessel after March 22, 1989, who has caused an oil spill of more than 1 million U.S. gallons in any marine area from operating in Prince William Sound. The Exxon Valdez was towed to San Diego for repairs. Steel was removed and replaced, and the tanker was renamed SR Mediterranean and continued in service for many years. In August 2012, it was beached at Alang, India and dismantled. Thank you for watching and learning about events throughout history. Please subscribe to my channel to view other events throughout the decades.